I'm getting rid of these old duds ever since I saw Harry Rosen's new, younger, sharper image that ran in the country's newspapers this week. How did he come to this new image? How did his ad people think it up, pitch it to him? Why did he buy it? Here's Adam Little.
Harry Rosen is a clothier with 22 stores, over $100 million in sales, and a problem. His clients are getting older. He needs younger ones. So this summer, Harry hired a young, hip ad agency for an image makeover.
It fits. It's a beauty.
It is.
Early June, the creative team from Toronto's Roche Macauley and Partners have arrived at Rosen's boardroom. In this den of ritzy men's suits, they just don't seem to fit.
It's hard being a woman on a man's account.
Roche Macauley has just landed the account. Now they're under the gun. They have only 8 weeks to roll out a campaign for the all-important fall season.
It's an old classic.
So now they're cramming Menswear 101, as taught by Larry Rosen, the patriarch's son.
We're here to talk about what the key themes are for fall 1996 in fashion and clothing at Harry Rosen's. Might just take a second, if I can, and I'm going to throw one on you, okay? Give you an idea of it.
Glenn Hunt, the agency's head writer, is exactly the type of new client that Harry Rosen wants.
Looks good on you.
You're going to sell me it, aren't you? I know I'm going to walk out of here with no money.
Maybe, but if Hunt and the gang deliver a campaign Rosen loves, the agency will hold on to an account worth over $1 million a year.
Very contemporary, very modern.
They filter through the clutter, providing me with the right merchandise to choose from.
Today in advertising, all roads lead to focus groups. Tonight, it's 3 groups of younger, hipper menswear wearers on the shaving side of the one-way mirrors. We can't let you see or hear them, but they're here to yield quick consumer insights. The ad people are here, so's the client. Harry Rosen isn't just the brand name, he's the boss, and tonight's groups will cost him about $10,000.
So what should they say?
Group number 1, regular Harry Rosen customers, and not surprisingly, it's a love-in. Harry even goes in after to glad hand. It's warm, it's fuzzy, it doesn't last.
The whole objective of the next couple of groups is to find out why people don't shop at Harry Rosen. So that's, I know, and what would make them...
And find out they do.
They don't trust us, you know, I mean, that's sort of coming across.
Well, the most telling, we can talk about this at the debrief, the most telling was...
Tony Johnson runs the focus groups.
It's not warm, it's cold, it's not for me, it's a Cadillac, it's my father's, it's corporate. I'm free-spirited and I'm different, I'm individualistic and those things.
They may be mean, Harry goes in anyway.
I lied, I didn't mean that.
The last group is even more hostile.
Oh, Jesus. I'm going to duck under the desk.
Harry's had enough.
I hope you learn a lot. I'm going home.
The agency people stay, hoping the focus groups will give them the golden insight to drive their campaign.
Do you remember we asked them to imagine they were on a psychiatrist's couch?
A week later, a sockless Tony Johnson, sporting a new jacket from Harry Rosen, debriefs. With focus group insights like, if Harry Rosen were a car, what car would he be?
It's the bigger, it's the more conservative, it's the 55-year-old CEO car. And what they want it to be is that beautiful, sleek SC400 with the V8 engine.
Cars aside, the one constant in all the groups was that the men in the target demographic all hate to shop for clothes. So Tony says the message to hit their buttons is,
Harry Rosen is a pleasant antidote to the time-consuming, unrewarding experience of clothes shopping.
So a strategy is born.
When you shop at Harry Rosen, it's time well spent.
Hey, Harry. How are you?
A week later, it's the big meeting. Time to roll out the strategy for the client, and time for the agency's top dog to move in.
Okay, so...
Jeffrey Roche founded Roche Macauley and Partners 5 years ago. Now they bill $50 million a year. Today he's here to sell the strategy. Susan Kim Kirkland, the agency's strategic planner, takes the focus group's time angle and runs with it.
Our feeling is that the positioning something around Harry Rosen's takes the hassle out of shopping.
But the perception being now that you don't, on the part of some people.
The people from Harry Rosen are not overwhelmed.
I'm not going to cite old rules that have gone by, and if that's the case, that's the case. But the hassle is a negative, and I just wondered whether you're satisfied.
But this is when Roche steps in. Trust us, he says. Wait for the ads.
Too often, I think that words on a piece of paper are literally torn to pieces because it isn't the way someone else might have said it or whatever the case might be.
And He promises it's going to be good.
I wanted to capture the soul of who the company is about and who the people who work there are.
It's like there's one thing you won't find at any Harry Rosen store, and a problem.
3 weeks later, the creative team is still working into the night to make Roche's promises pay off.
Well,
Writer Glenn Hunt and art directors Deborah Prenger and Mark Hesse are brainstorming ideas.
We've managed to eliminate everything you hate about shopping for a suit, with just one exception.
That's measuring the crotch.
Yeah.
Right.
They've got lots of ideas for single ads, but nothing is gelling into a campaign.
Well, you could have a long ad that goes across both pages of the newspaper and has a bunch of butts lined up.
Well, we can forget that vision.
This is one of our clients. He shops here to hide the fact that he has very, very bad taste. Right? This moment of wasted time is brought to you by Harry Rosen.
Right.
The hassle-free strategy is turning out to be anything but.
Time seems like a weird thing to associate with clothes. Yeah, you save time, that's great. But you know what? I can go to Kmart and save time.
And changing Harry Rosen's established image has its own pitfalls.
The visual of a guy walking the dog and the dog's peeing or whatever. And the line below it saying this isn't your typical, not your typical Harry Rosen, not your typical stuffy ad or whatever. Remember that whole thought that I had?
Yeah. That goes against the core customer, though, and I don't want to piss off the core customer.
This first one, Harry Rosen appreciates the average man would rather get gout than shop for clothes. I think it's great.
3 days later, the creatives pitched their ideas to Jeffrey Roche.
This is truly the most confusing headline here.
That's the idea.
Chances are you'll end up here sooner or later. Why not make it sooner so later you can end up somewhere else?
Yeah.
Why don't we put that one aside for
I
now,
can go talk to everybody who gets the paper.
Halfway down the line, Roche finds what he wants for the campaign's centerpiece.
Saul Goldblum, Rabbi,
Yeah.
and what's the other guy?
A bartender. One guy can be a rabbi, the other can be a priest. They could have.
Right.
I don't buy the priest.
You don't buy the priest?
Oh, they don't wear clothes.
Why? They don't. Oh, come on.
Okay, how about an evangelist?
That's better.
Beautiful.
That's much better.
The text line for the ad is, and everything in between. This one has legs. Roche tells the team to work up several variations for the client pitch.
Okay, great. I think we got some great stuff. Harry, here we are.
5 days later, the clients are walking the line.
Let me show you this first ad that I think sort of embodies what we want to try and say throughout the entire campaign, okay? This is Glenn Hunt on the left, who is a VJ, and what they put, Jeffrey Roche, yeah, thank you. But anyway, Jeffrey Roche on the right, who is an author. And the line is, in between, it says, and everything in between. And I think it's got great mileage in terms of these are individuals. So these are existing.
Using real people.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah.
Customers?
Yep.
Today, however, Roche's material isn't getting much response.
Well, you could go to people of different sizes. You could have a smaller guy up to a basketball player from a jockey.
Things don't get better when Roche moves on to the next series of ads.
First one, big coupon, says 20% off your valuable time. If time is money, welcome to our thrift shop. Harry, please don't be talking so much because it really, you know. Some of our customers won't even give us the time of day, which is why we are open evenings as well. Harry Rosen appreciates that the average man would rather get gout than shop for clothes. It's not high on, I mean, you know, there's a good chance that they'd probably rather be out playing a game of golf or with their family or busy with something.
In the meeting that follows, Harry is finally ready to speak his mind.
I don't believe the time issue. I believe that it may be a factor and there's a way of dealing with it, but it is not a central theme.
Harry trashes the whole strategy.
I'm going to have the audacity to say I don't believe the focus groups. I think we're picking up the wrong messages from these focus groups.
Now they have a week to come back with something better. It's literally back to the drawing board for the agency.
Advertising makes you kind of hungry.
The next meeting actually takes place 3 weeks later. This time the agency wants everything to be perfect.
We want everyone to have nutrients in our system.
First, lunch. No business, just bonding.
There's a lot of sunlight.
Then Roche eases into the subject by first unveiling the campaign slogan.
And the tag is, whatever suits you, Harry Rosen.
Next, Roche talks about the future. A couple of ideas for next season, maybe. First,
instead of having Bill Gates dress the way that Bill Gates normally dresses, which is pretty horribly, we put him in what we think he should be wearing, which might be a camel overcoat and a nice blue shirt.
Clever.
Now we have this other idea that we don't see doing right away either. What it is the Harry Rosen centerfold. And there he is.
Now Roche really starts pitching campaigns. First up, a new take on his favorite idea from the last pitch.
This is an author, and who's the other person?
Producer.
The TV producer says, television is the greatest invention of the century. Television is democratic, it's inclusive, it's global. Television takes you places you could never hope to go otherwise. TV is the answer. The author, on the other hand, says, television is a blight on our society, a tumor that should be excised. And as far as I'm concerned, 99% of the stuff on TV is crap. The other 1% I can read about.
And the clothes that suits him are not the clothes that suits him. And that person is not that person, but we can take care of both of them at Harry Rosen.
Would you go out and find people, lead them, obviously, find a television producer and tell them what we're doing? And
Yeah.
Yeah, your customers.
You could have a basketball player and a jockey, and the basketball player could talk about the problems with being tall, and the jockey's talking about the problems with being small. But you can take care of those sizes. Whatever suits you, we have your size.
And finally, it all leads up to this. A campaign Roche is confident is a winner.
2 or 3 weeks from now, we go and take a picture of David Thompson.
Mr. Thompson is a fictional publisher, but the real ads would use real people.
And then, a few weeks later, on Tuesday, October 13th, we have him wear that exact same outfit. But as well as that, we have an ad in the paper that same day that says what David Thompson will be wearing Tuesday, August 13th. All the people who know him in and around his industry are going to be going, come on, David, is that what you're wearing today? Is that really what you're wearing today? And we would do a whole series of these. What Simon Lewis will be wearing on Wednesday, November 15th. What Isaiah Thomas will be wearing on Wednesday, December 4th. What Chris Kringle will be wearing Wednesday, December 24th.
And how does it play? It's a hit. Mary Pompili, Rosen's director of advertising.
I love it.
I think that we're back to building an identity, a strong identity, which I think has been lost and dissipated in some respects. So it's great stuff.
And that suits Jeffrey Roche to a T. He's got Harry, and if this campaign goes over well, it could be the first of many, which will mean millions of dollars in billings.
Does that mean it's over? This is sad.
For Venture, I'm Adam Little.
Well, we move on to...